Before you go to bed tonight, imagine sipping a warm, fragrant tea made from just two simple ingredients. By the time you wake up tomorrow, your body may already be burning more fat, especially around your belly. Sounds impossible, right? But why are thousands of seniors across the country swearing by this nightly ritual? And how could something so small, so easy, have such a powerful effect on stubborn belly fat? Could this be the missing piece in your routine? And why haven't you heard of it from your doctor? If you're curious, stay with me. Because in the next few minutes, you're going to understand how this tea works, the surprising science behind it, and how it might finally offer you the peace of mind and waistline you've been chasing for years. If you care about your health, if you want practical, simple, science-backed tools to stay strong and slim as you age, go ahead and subscribe now so you never miss what matters most. Let's talk. There's something so quietly powerful about the way our bodies change as we get older. Some shifts we expect. Wrinkles, gray hair, but others feel less natural, like the weight gain around the belly that seems to appear overnight and refuses to leave. You eat healthy, you even walk more, yet that pouch around the middle, it stays. And it's not just about looks. That extra belly fat isn't just frustrating. It's dangerous. It wraps around your organs, messes with your metabolism, and raises your risk for heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and even certain cancers. So when we say melt belly fat while you sleep, we're not talking about vanity. We're talking about health, about longevity, about taking back control of something that, frankly, shouldn't be this hard to manage. Now here's where it gets interesting. There's a quiet revolution happening in homes across the country. More and more older adults are turning to a remarkably simple tea before bed and waking up with less bloating, more energy, and in many cases a flatter belly. And it's not just anecdotal. There's real science to support what's happening. You might be wondering, what exactly is in this tea? How can just two ingredients, common ones, not expensive or exotic, actually support fat loss overnight? Is it safe? And why does it seem to work especially well for people over 50? Let's take it step by step. And let's start with something almost no one talks about: your body's overnight metabolic shift. When you go to sleep, your body enters a whole new world. While your brain rests, your cells are hard at work, repairing, resetting, and yes, burning fat. But that process depends on something most of us never think about: hormonal timing. See, when you're younger, your hormones naturally align to help you burn fat more efficiently. But as we age, especially past 50, that balance shifts. Cortisol creeps up, insulin becomes less sensitive, and fat-burning hormones like growth hormone and melatonin can decline. These changes don't just slow your metabolism, they reprogram your body to store fat instead of burning it. This is where the tea comes in. The two ingredients, each backed by decades of research, don't act as magic bullets. What they do is support your body's natural processes. They nudge your system back into alignment. They gently calm cortisol, support insulin sensitivity, and promote deeper, more restorative sleep, which is the golden zone for fat loss. Let's start with the first ingredient. You've probably seen it in your kitchen: cinnamon. But not just any cinnamon. The kind you want is Ceylon cinnamon, often called true cinnamon. What makes it so special? Ceylon cinnamon has been studied for its ability to regulate blood sugar levels. And when your blood sugar is stable at night, your insulin levels stay low. That's critical because insulin is the hormone that tells your body to store fat, not burn it. By keeping insulin low, you're essentially flipping a metabolic switch that makes it easier for your body to use stored fat for fuel. But cinnamon does something else too. It mimics insulin in some tissues, helping glucose get into cells where it can be used, not stored. That's huge for anyone struggling with insulin resistance or prediabetes, which becomes more common with age. Now, on to the second ingredient, chamomile. At first glance, it may seem like a sleepy time classic, but chamomile isn't just about helping you fall asleep, it's about improving how you sleep. Studies have shown that chamomile can increase glycine levels in the body, a neurotransmitter that relaxes nerves and muscles. This relaxation supports more consistent, deeper sleep, the kind that triggers the release of fat-burning hormones. Chamomile is also a mild anti-inflammatory, which might not sound like a big deal, but here's the truth. Inflammation and belly fat are best friends. When inflammation goes down, it's easier for your metabolism to function properly. Fat becomes easier to lose, bloating decreases, and that tired, sluggish feeling, it starts to lift. So when you combine these two, Ceylon cinnamon and chamomile, you're creating a nighttime ritual that's gentle, natural, and powerfully effective. Cinnamon stabilizes your blood sugar and nudges insulin down. Chamomile calms your nervous system and encourages deep sleep. Together, they create the perfect conditions for your body to burn fat while you rest. But here's the key. It's not about what happens on night one. It's about consistency. Seniors who swear by this tea don't expect miracles after one cup. What they report, again and again, is that after just a few nights they feel lighter, less bloated, their cravings reduce, their sleep improves, and yes, their belly starts to shrink. Why is that? Because habits create momentum. And this tea isn't just a drink, it's a signal to your body, a cue. Every night it reminds your system that rest is coming, that stress is over, that repair can begin. And that shift in rhythm, it's where fat loss really starts. Of course, you might be wondering, could this possibly work for me? Maybe you've tried everything. Maybe your metabolism feels broken. Maybe your doctor has told you that age and weight gain just go together now, like coffee and cream. But what if that's not true? What if your body is still capable of burning fat, healing itself, and bouncing back, but it just needs the right support? Think about it. We've been told for decades that weight loss is all about willpower, dieting, and restriction. But what if the real secret is balance? Supporting your hormones, calming your nervous system, giving your body what it needs at the right time, not punishing it into submission. That's why this tea is so powerful, not because it's exotic or rare, but because it works with your body, not against it. And if you're still with me, I know you're someone who takes your health seriously. You're curious, you're open, and you're probably wondering, okay, I get it, but how do I actually make this tea? We're getting to that. But first, let's talk about the why again, because understanding this will keep you committed. Fat loss overnight sounds too good to be true, and in a way, it is. Because what you're really doing is preparing your body to work better all the time, starting while you sleep. That means less cortisol, better insulin sensitivity, improved sleep quality. And when those things happen together, the results aren't just weight-related, they're life-changing. People report more stable moods, better focus during the day, more energy, fewer cravings. Some even notice that stubborn blood pressure readings start to move in the right direction. And these are not fringe claims. They're supported by research on both cinnamon and chamomile, two of the most accessible natural tools we have for metabolic support. And the beautiful thing, this tea costs pennies to make. It's simple, safe, no side effects, no prescriptions, just a warm cup of something good for you. Something that, over time, might help reverse years of metabolic wear and tear. So yes, you're going to learn how to make it. But more importantly, you're going to understand why it matters. Because when you start seeing results, I want you to know that it's not magic. It's not hype. It's your body doing what it was always meant to do. Heal, thrive, and burn fat, especially belly fat, when given the right tools. If you're over 50 and your joints ache when you get out of bed, go upstairs, or just try to enjoy a walk, it's not your age, and it's not your fault. The real issue? Your body's running out of a natural substance that cushions your joints like a shock absorber. And most supplements out there, glucosamine, collagen, all of it, don't fix this. But now, researchers have discovered a breakthrough that can actually restore what your joints are missing, and people in their 60s, 70s, even 80s are seeing real relief. If you're feeling stiff, sore, or weaker lately, stop guessing. Check the link in the pinned comment now. All right, let's keep going. So you now know how powerful these two ingredients can be. Ceylon, cinnamon, and chamomile. You understand the hormonal landscape they help to rebalance, lowering cortisol, supporting insulin sensitivity, and improving sleep quality, all of which are tightly linked to how your body stores or burns fat. But what if I told you that by adding just one small habit to this tea, you could multiply its effects? Here's what most people get wrong. They think weight loss is only about what you eat, and while food is essential, there's something even more powerful when it comes to fat loss, especially around the belly, and it's often overlooked. Timing. Specifically, the timing of when you consume your last meal and when you drink this tea. Let's say you typically eat dinner at 6 or 7 p.m. That's fine, but if you're still snacking by 9 or 10, your insulin is still elevated and your body can't access stored fat overnight. You're locked in a sugar-burning mode. But if you Stop eating 3 hours before bedtime and sip this tea right before you go to sleep. Your insulin levels will have time to fall. And when that happens, fat-burning hormones can finally step in and do their job. This concept isn't about starvation. It's not even about long-term fasting. It's about giving your body a window to reset each night. And when paired with the cinnamon and chamomile, this window becomes a fat-burning powerhouse. So here's what I recommend. Eat dinner at your usual time. Then, no food after. Just water if you're thirsty. And about 30 to 60 minutes before bed, make your tea. Start by bringing 1 cup of water to a gentle boil. Add half a teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon. Remember, Ceylon, not the more common cassia cinnamon, which can be harsh in large amounts. Stir it well and let it simmer for 5 to 10 minutes. Then pour it over a chamomile tea bag in your favorite mug. Let it steep, relax, and sip slowly. That's it. That's the nightly habit that's quietly changing lives. Now, let me ask you something. What would your life look like if your belly fat started to shrink? Not from a crash diet or an intense workout plan, but from a relaxing evening ritual. Imagine sleeping deeper, waking up lighter, and having more energy to do the things you love. Picture pulling out those jeans you tucked away last year and slipping into them with ease. Think about the quiet confidence that would come from feeling in control again. That's not wishful thinking. That's chemistry. That's your biology finally working with you, not against you. And the best part? There's no guesswork, no special equipment, no memberships, just real, honest ingredients and a little bit of consistency. But let's go deeper. Because while this tea supports fat burning and better sleep, it also triggers subtle changes that are just as important. For one, reducing your insulin levels overnight can improve your body's insulin sensitivity over time. That means your cells become better at using the glucose you eat during the day instead of storing it as fat. Second, your liver, one of your most overlooked organs, gets a break, and that's critical. The liver is responsible for filtering your blood, regulating hormones, and processing fat. But when it's overworked, especially with constant late night snacking, it gets sluggish. That leads to more belly fat, more inflammation, and even poor sleep. By stopping food intake after dinner and sipping this gentle tea, you're giving your liver the time and tools it needs to heal. Now here's a question most people never think to ask. What does deep sleep have to do with belly fat? The answer, everything. Your body releases the majority of its fat-burning hormones while you sleep, especially growth hormone, which peaks during your deepest sleep cycles. But if you're tossing and turning, if your blood sugar is bouncing around all night, you don't get into those deeper sleep stages. And without them, growth hormone can't rise. Your cortisol remains high, and the cycle of fat storage continues. This is why seniors who drink this tea report sleeping better within just a few nights. And better sleep doesn't just mean you feel more rested, it means your hormones are shifting. Your metabolism is recalibrating, and your belly fat, which once felt like it was glued to your midsection, finally begins to budge. Now let's be real. There's no such thing as a miracle cure. This tea isn't going to cancel out a poor diet or replace movement. But when used as part of a gentle, sustainable routine, especially one that includes whole foods, light activity, and good sleep hygiene, it can be a catalyst, a trigger for transformation. And that's what so many seniors are discovering. People in their 60s, 70s, even 80s who thought their metabolism had retired right along with them, only to find that it hadn't. It just needed the right signals. Signals like a steady drop in insulin, signals like reduced inflammation, signals like real rest. And a tea made of just 2 ingredients has become the messenger their bodies had been waiting for. But you might still be wondering, what does the science say? Well, several studies have highlighted the benefits of Ceylon cinnamon for glycemic control. One study in the journal Diabetes Care found that participants who consumed cinnamon daily had significant reductions in fasting blood glucose and improved lipid profiles. Another study published in the European Journal of Clinical Investigation noted that chamomile extract not only improved sleep quality, but also reduced symptoms of generalized anxiety, something closely tied to elevated cortisol. Both ingredients also show mild anti-inflammatory effects, which is critical when we talk about metabolic health, because inflammation isn't just about swollen joints or occasional aches. Chronic low-grade inflammation is like a slow-burning fire inside the body. It affects how your cells respond to insulin, It slows down your thyroid, it interferes with fat metabolism, and it makes losing weight, especially belly fat, feel almost impossible. But calming that fire, that's when healing begins. And every night that you commit to this small act, this simple tea, you're telling your body it's safe to rest, it's safe to burn fat, it's safe to repair, and the results compound. Night after night, cup after cup, your system begins to change. It's quiet at first, a better night of sleep, less bloating, fewer cravings, but then it builds. You start waking up with more clarity. Your clothes fit differently. You look in the mirror and notice your posture's improved because when inflammation drops, even the tension in your muscles starts to fade. You smile more, you feel less defeated, and you realize maybe it's not too late. Maybe your best years aren't behind you. Maybe you've just needed the right tools. And those tools don't have to be complicated. They can be as simple as a warm cup of cinnamon and chamomile. You don't have to change everything overnight. You just need to begin. And that's what this tea represents. A beginning, a turning point, a line in the sand between the frustration of what's been and the hope of what's next. So tonight, as you fill your cup, take a moment. Breathe in the warmth. Feel the stillness. Know that change doesn't always come from massive action. Sometimes it comes from the small things done consistently, with purpose, with care. And if you've made it this far, you're ready. You're ready to take your health into your own hands. Not with fads, not with fear, but with understanding, with clarity, and with the quiet confidence that comes from knowing exactly why something works. Now, if this connected with you, if you're feeling that little spark of hope, I've got something else for you. There's another video waiting for you right now that shows how your nightly routine could be sabotaging your fat-burning hormones. Watch that next and give yourself every advantage to feel your best again. You deserve that. Go ahead, click it now.